Today we're going to talk about the Prophet X from Sequential. Hi, I'm James Drone, aka Pure Ambient Drone. This is my channel where I vlog about synthesizers. Hit the subscribe button, tap the bell, keep up with all of my synth adventures. And jamesdrone.com is the place to be to connect with me. So the Prophet X is a synthesizer that is not just a sampler, but it is a real synthesizer that will let you create stuff in the neighborhood of the legendary Prophet synthesizer, the Prophet 5, okay, which really caught the world on fire. The Pro 1, the Prophet 5, those synthesizers really made a huge impact in the music world and in the synthesis world alike. So Dave Smith takes it a step further, and he gets 8-Dio involved, and he makes an incredible sampler, and he comes out with these incredible sample packs that you can purchase. They're not very expensive. I think I bought some of these between $20 and $60, depending if they're on sale or not, or what kind of deals are going on. And if you listen to some of the sounds that I played for you guys in my video yesterday, which I'm going to be including here, you can tell that there's some really good sound packs, such as the Prophet 5 sound packs. They got the Model D sound pack. They also got a Jupiter 4 sound pack, just to name a few. But it's not all about sampling. A lot of people get the PX, as I like to call it, confused with just a sampler. This thing is a full-blown synthesizer that can do so much more than just sampling. And it is a welcomed addition to my studio because it reaches for a sound palette that I really can't get on anything else in the studio. So if I didn't have the PX, I would be missing out on a lot of different sounds. And by the way, I really don't want to pay thousands of dollars for all of the synthesizers that this thing can mimic. Now, one of the questions I got was, is having the real synthesizer better than having the PX? Well, yes. I mean, if I could have a real Prophet 5 versus the Prophet 5 sound pack for the PX, I'm going to go for a real Prophet 5 because the question really was, is it more flexible to have the real synthesizer? And I know why they asked that. It's because the synthesizers that these are sampling, that this machine has samples for, are aged, and they're not as equipped as modern day synthesizers can be if they want to be. With that being said, yes, a Prophet 5 would give you much more flexibility than a PX Prophet 5 sample pack would. Absolutely. But with that being said, there are things that this thing can do that a Prophet 5 cannot do. There are ways to mangle the sound that a Prophet 5 can't mangle it. So flexibility is all in the hands of the person who possesses the synth. On the one hand, you have the Prophet 5 with the complete Prophet engine inside of it, capable of making any sound that you want that the machine is capable of making. And then with the PX, you start out with a sampled sound and you mangle it. So yes, you have flexibility in departments on the PX that you wouldn't have on the actual synthesizer. But on the other hand, the actual synthesizer is going to give you an array of sounds coming out of it that the PX wouldn't be able to manipulate once it's been sampled. However, it does have its own synth engine, and believe me, it can come up with some beautiful sounds all by itself. So I would say that on the one hand, you can have all of these vintage synthesizers and spend tens of thousands of dollars obtaining them, which is not a bad thing to do that if you can afford it. I love vintage synthesizers, and I have quite a few myself. Or if you don't want to afford that, or you just don't think you have a need for it, you could run with the PX and you can get these samples already done for you, or you can make your own. That's the beauty of it. You can take friends' synthesizers and you can sample them into the PX, or you can buy some from 8-Dio or anybody else that's happened to be selling them. So there is a lot of flexibility. And so when somebody asks me, is there more flexibility or less flexibility, it's really a complicated answer because it's a different type of flexibility. But all of it is good because you can make this thing sound as vintage as you want it or as modern as you like. And that's what I love about the PX. Check it out for yourself, read about it, think about it, and if it's for you, get one. Anyway, I am James Drone. JamesDrone.com is the place to be to connect with me. And until we talk again, keep calm and synth on.